In the lead up to the pandemic, Australian commercial real estate was hot property with offshore buyers. But just like domestic demand from offshore buyers has waned following the pandemic, with lockdowns particularly impacting retail, offices and hotels. While demand is still subdued from pre-COVID levels, this year we've started to see demand from offshore buyers creep back. So far this year, just over 1/3 of 1 million plus commercial properties have been sold to offshore buyers. This is above the proportion we typically see. Offshore demand has been strongest from Singapore, which saw the largest number of 1 million plus transactions. Hong Kong followed, with the US, Canada and France rounding up the top 5. In the past, offices were undoubtedly the asset of choice for offshore investors. But since the pandemic hit, this has changed. Industrial real estate is now the most in-demand property type from offshore investors. Not only has industrial property proved resilient throughout the pandemic, in many ways it has actually benefited from COVID-19. When it comes to where offshore investors are looking to buy, Victoria is the most popular. Over the past 12 months, industrial properties in Victoria have been the most searched for and inquired after property type on realcommercial.com.au. Following Victoria is New South Wales, though here it's retail properties which are seeing the strongest demand. In Queensland, industrial property again saw the most demand. So what can we expect over the next 12 months? Up until this point, our closed border policy has undoubtedly impacted demand for Australian commercial property. But once we reopen, this is likely to change. Compared to many other countries, yields on Australian commercial property are still relatively high. This, combined with our relative economic success throughout the pandemic, is likely to continue to drive demand up from offshore investors once we reopen.